Listen very carefully and follow my instructions. Prepare your brain for the Cortex Labs Nootropics podcast.
I gotta tell you, being an entrepreneur, I will not go through the rest of my career without taking nootropics. Oxyracetam, piracetam, Modafinil, Nupep, uridine monophosphate. I mean, phenyl piracetam, forget it. You can always have a better brain.
The Cortex Labs Nootropics podcast is about to begin.
Episode number 80 of the Cortex Labs Nootropics podcast. I am your host and your bearded nootropics information wizard, Ryan Michael Bell. Thanks so much for being with me. We're going to talk about why gamers take nootropics. I'm going to discuss some of the games that I play and take nootropics to help facilitate performance in these games. We'll talk about which nootropics are the best for gaming that I've come to learn, and the other people that we deal with have come to understand. We'll talk about, improving certain aspects of mental functionality that are relevant to gaming, like reaction speed, being able to see enemies coming, accuracy, things of this nature. And then just some other stuff. I mean, there's so much to talk about. People that do tournaments, gaming tournaments, where they're sitting in a room with 20 other gamers and they're in a tournament for 20 hours. I mean, these folks are absolutely taking nootropics, and there's ways to perform better via nootropics in these environments. Okay, but let's run through what's going on at Cortex Labs. A couple important things. Right now, and this is the 28th of June, 2018, the Cortex stack is on sale for $25. That's our nootropic stack. We made it for productive people initially. I mean, we really wanted to make an elite level nootropic for entrepreneurs and Silicon Valley people and Wall Street traders. Just you take it, you turned on, you're ready to do work, and your brain is working awesomely. But everybody likes it. So get a bottle of Cortex, what's being called the only pre-made nootropic stack that works, at livecortex.com. If you use the coupon code 5, F-I-V-E, through July 1st, 2018, you can get a bottle for $25. That is pretty darn awesome. If you need my help personally on anything related to nootropics, we have a consulting service. It's a 40-minute Skype call with me, Ryan, yours truly. Most people just drill me with questions about nootropics. If they've got a particular brain fog issue or otherwise issue, that we work through it and try to give them stacks for it. And then people that might need stacks for their medical degree, for otherwise business stuff that they do for work, to help them find a nootropic stack that really works well for them. That's one of the things we work on in that consulting service. And then if you're new to nootropics, we wrote a book for you. It's called Smarter, Better, Faster. You must read it if you're new. And you got to read it ideally 10 to 15 times, but at the very least 5 times to get everything. I mean, it teaches you everything, gives you many stacks, gives you everything you need to know about nootropics. Okay, so the one thing that I've learned, I mean, look, I've been taking nootropics for 10 years now, so I take them in various contexts. And I learned many, many years ago, because I've been a gamer for most of my adult life. Most of my life I've been a gamer. Most of my whole life I've been a gamer, ranging from Tecmo Super Bowl football back in the days to Battlefield 4 multiplayer now. I've just been gaming for a long time. And so I learned that I could take nootropics and my performance would be better in gaming. So this is a particularly awesome, topic for me, and I figured it'd be an interesting topic for those of you that are into it. So the first thing I want to talk about is just sort of generally one of the greatest reasons that gamers take nootropics, and one of the great enhancements, just benefits of people taking nootropics in the context of gaming, is simply older individuals that don't have the reaction speed and functionality, brain functionality, of an 8 to 15-year-old kid, which in a lot of cases is the people you're going to be playing against when you're doing multiplayer gaming, playing against other people on the web. And then these older folks with less reaction speed actually can match the reaction speed of the 15-year-old kid who's just out there killing it and killing everybody, in shooter games. And that is a substantial benefit for people that are older. I've noticed it in myself. I mean, look, I'm 34, but my reaction speed certainly isn't where it was when I was 15. And so nootropics absolutely give me that edge to where there's 15-year-old kids, younger kids who are just rocking and killing it, and I'm on par with them and beating them. I dominate on some of the games that I play, mainly and namely Battlefield 4 multiplayer. Okay, so older individuals that need brain performance benefit massively from nootropics in the context of gaming. What they improve. So the first thing is reaction speed. Okay, reaction speed is paramount when it comes to gaming, and when it comes to being able to, like in shooter games, to do things like see enemies coming and to respond to the threats that are happening. I mean, just to be responsive, whether you're playing like a third-person shooter, Tom Clancy, Rainbow Six game, like Rainbow Six Vegas, which is a really dope game, or you're playing first-person shooter, Battlefield something, Battlefield 1, Battlefield 4, whether you're shooting, or you're on the ground with an assault rifle or large machine gun or RPG or whatever, or you're flying like a chopper, reaction speed is critical in these situations. And we're going to get to some nootropics that improve all that, but generally nootropics improve that for people that are gaming, and that really helps them to literally perform better. So the whole goal is like you're getting quantifiably better results in gaming, the kill-death ratios, a better overall score, a better quantity of kills in the end. You're expending less ammunition because you're being more efficient with your shooting. And one of the other things that nootropics can improve, because they can improve your capacity to coordinate your hands and your eyes to the game to fire better, is accuracy. I mean, I literally identify that when my brain works better, I'm more accurate in shooter games. You know, I can quickly deliver a set of bullets or rounds to a destination target, and be more efficient while doing it, like without wasting a whole bunch of ammunition. So basically I'm talking about I'm accurate enough to do headshots and or upper torso shots on folks, and that totally allows me to get better scores and save ammo. So, you know, you got reaction speed, you can see enemies coming, you sort of have a better spatial understanding of what's going on, like in this broader, like a big map that you're looking at in front of you. And you have better accuracy as a result, and it's totally awesome. I mean, we're talking again about performing better, and that's one of the things that allows you to perform better, having accuracy. Now, let's talk about tournaments for a bit. We have had, at this point, 3 or 4 consulting clients that are younger people. These aren't kids. I mean, these are like in their early 20s that literally go to gaming tournaments. So they're in tournaments where they're in one place at once with a bunch of other people that are gaming multiplayer online against themselves, or they're like in an internet cafe, but they're playing like major tournaments where there's money up for grabs, or there's prizes up for grabs. I mean, these are super major popular gaming tournaments, and these folks have come to Cortex Labs and me to request consulting, basically help. Like, you know, can you help me formulate a stack that allows me to perform better in these arenas? Now, for a lot of folks, the first or second suggestions we give them will work really well, because I've done this for a long time and we know how to direct people to take nootropics to get particular results. But in some cases, we sort of have to work through a few different stacks to get them where they want to be. But hear this, once we do, like in these specific cases of folks that were gamers and were going into tournaments, we got better results than their previous tournament outcomes. You know, one player actually got first score, like beat everybody else in this tournament, and a few other players that weren't ranking at all, like in top 5, got top 5 as a result, which then bumps them up to other echelons where they can continue to perform or continue to get into these contests because they scored top 5. It's like, you know, process of elimination. If you scored like, you know, 6 through 20, you get knocked out and you're eliminated from the tournaments. But if you score top 5, you can stay in. And we've helped a lot of people through very particular, just very specific sort of surgical stack creation protocols, which is one of the things that we specialize in as a nootropics company for people of all types, to perform better in these tournaments, and I think that that's really awesome. So moving on to the kind of nootropics that we typically suggest, and I'll give you just a few suggestions on some pre-made stacks, and then some regular nootropics that people take in gaming to perform better. Number 1 is probably the elephant in the room, and those are Phenyls. Okay, Phenyls would refer to Modafinil, 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 or Adrafinil. Now, they're all different potency, but largely they produce a similar result of profound wakefulness and the brain's capacity to really be super light on its feet and to have a whole lot of very clean, sort of non-stimulant, but very powerful mental energy to improve everything, reaction speed, all that stuff, accuracy, efficiency, just to be able to think better, to have better spatial consumption of the map so that you can move and navigate better, to perform better and more efficiently and end up scoring better and all that stuff. So, broad brush recommendations would be 350 milligrams of Modafinil by itself, separately 100 milligrams Modafinil by itself, separately 60 milligrams Modafinil by itself, and then separately 35 milligrams Modafinil by itself, which is like a super potent version of the Afins, like one of the most potent versions of the Afinils there is. Secondly and separately would be Oxyracetam. Oxyracetam is a very mental fluidity inducing racetam. For me to this day, it's a racetam that I take if I didn't sleep well and my brain's clogged. I'm just like can't think and can't be verbally fluent, and my brain's like, oh my God, this is just terrible. I'll take Oxyracetam in 700 to 1,000 milligram quantities with 500 milligrams choline bitartrate, and then I'm totally in. But the interesting thing too is that this worked because of the brain fluidity and the focus it gives you. Oxyracetam is like epic for gaming. So that's what I'd suggest. I wouldn't want to go, because you really don't want to mess it up and have a whole bunch of stuff going on at once. You just want to be perfectly balanced. I wouldn't go with a whole bunch of other things in a stack. I would just do Oxyracetam at 700 milligrams to 1,000 milligrams, and then bring in choline bitartrate at 300 to 500 milligrams. That's the safest way to get a good benefit so that you can function well in gaming. The next compound is another racetam, and that's phenyl piracetam. Phenyl piracetam's dose range is 25 to 200 milligrams. I'd shoot for about 100 to 150 milligrams in this particular context. And it's a very energy-producing or energy-inducing, reaction speed improving, sort of all-around cognitive processes optimization racetam that is super easy. 150 milligrams and you're done. Bring in 300 to 500 milligrams choline bitartrate, because for a lot of folks, it's going to be necessary to take choline with their racetam so you can supply the brain with a neurotransmitter the racetams accelerate the usage of. But I think for a lot of folks, and some of the folks that we've consulted with, the phenyl piracetam works really well. And me personally, when I go on Battlefield 4 and just want to rock it for a few hours, phenyl piracetam in 100 milligram quantities is really all I would need. A little bit of choline bitartrate, and I'm just rocking. Got the energy, killing it, and literally I perform better, and it's freaking awesome. The next recommendation is sort of a curveball recommendation. It's a recommendation I don't think a whole lot of folks give for this, but that I figured out really works, is high-dose triacetyl uridine. Triacetyl uridine is a uridine monophosphate analog, which basically improves the way that the brain formulates cell membranes. It improves the integrity of cell membranes. A substance, a phosphatide called phosphatidylcholine, which basically improves membrane functionality and brain fluidity, trying to put it as simple as possible, brain fluidity. But it also improves dopamine signaling, which will make you motivated and kind of pumped up. And it also will convert a little bit to acetylcholine in the brain, which will give you more focus and memory. So you get kind of like an all-around mental energy, motivation, productive drive, focus, reaction speed inducing nootropic just with triacetyl uridine. So I'd shoot for something like 80 milligrams of triacetyl uridine if you really want to get a good, nootropic benefit while gaming. The only two pre-made stacks that I think work really well in my experience, because I've tried them all and just to try to see what works well for gaming or what doesn't, would be number one, Alpha Brain. Alpha Brain is a stack by Onnit, a company called Onnit. We have no affiliation with them, but it's a good product for this thing. It's not super noticeable or super stimulatory, but it is noticeable enough. It does give you the edge in gaming situations. It's got huperzine A, I believe it has some alpha GPC, and it has some tyrosine, some theanine, oat straw extract, compound called AC11. And there may be one other compound in there, I forget off the top of my head, but that's basically the gist of the stack. It's a cholinergic stack in its nature, but it's also very calming and adds a bit of alertness-based neurotransmitters to it via the L-tyrosine, which is why it is good for gaming. I've taken Alpha Brain and gamed, and I've noticed better performance as a result of that. The last pre-made stack, the last suggestion I'll give you would be the Cortex Nootropics stack. That's Cortex Labs' stack that combines uridine, CDP choline, artichoke extract, and Bacopa Montieri for like a super synergistic, super mental energy, super reaction speed, super motivation inducing experience. I mean, we made that stack Cortex for an experience, to really give people an experience. And the thing with me is, obviously, because I'm a gamer, I've tested Cortex out with gaming, and it's exceptional. I mean, it's powerful. If I don't have Phenyls or don't want to take anything else, I mean, 2 capsules of Cortex, and I'm like, all right, 10-year-olds, I'm about to dominate all of you. And literally then I go and like perform super good and better, and a lot of people that we've consulted on this can take the Cortex stack and perform better in gaming, because it kind of just improves everything in the words of our customers. Okay, so that's the gist of why gamers take nootropics that gamers can take, and the things that nootropics improve gaming capacity. You'd be surprised, and I was super surprised too, like hearing about the people that inquired about our consulting service that were gamers. I'm like, man, this is awesome. I've been doing this for years, and like I haven't heard of people doing this. And then like this must have been 2-3 years ago, like where it became apparent that gamers all around the world are taking nootropics. They're taking Phenyls, they're taking racetams, they're taking pre-made stacks, they're taking uridine, they're taking all this kind of stuff, theocrine, caffeine, everything else you can think of. Because those that don't know about nootropics, what do you think they're doing? Like, they're taking 5-Hour Energy, and they're drinking Monster drinks. Like, they're trying to get the cognitive edge in these situations regardless. They're drinking 5 Red Bulls. So nootropics are a better, like, healthier alternative to a lot of that stuff, which I think is like super awesome. So I hope that's been helpful for those of you that are gamers, and interesting to those of you that aren't, because we just talked about a whole bunch of good nootropic stuff that's useful for all the mental faculties you'll need in gaming elsewhere in your life. And thanks so much for listening. Check us out on the web at livecortex.com, livecortex.com/blog, giant blog for nootropics information. Again, the Cortex stack right now until July 1st, 2018 is $25. That's a no-brainer. Got to get a bottle. Coupon code 5, F-I-V-E, will get you a bottle of the Mighty Cortex stack at livecortex.com. If you need my help personally on anything related to nootropics, just get the consulting service. It's $65. It'd be a great it could be a great quick spend. It's a one-time fee, and then you get me for 40 minutes. You can drill me with questions, have me help you formulate a stack for you, help you fix brain fog that's been going on for 5 years, whatever you've got. We do it all in that consulting service. It comes with additional email correspondences to help zero in our suggestions too. And then if you are new to nootropics, we wrote a book for you. It's called Smarter, Better, Faster. It teaches you everything. I mean, it gives you many stacks, teaches you how to use nootropics, shows you how to use them surgically, like the way that I suggest using them, and everything else about it is super awesome. If you're new, you got to read Smarter, Better, Faster. It's digital. Get it at livecortex.com. Then we have some other specialty nootropics digital books that are just basically giant stack lists. You don't have to read about anything. It's just a bunch of powerful stacks that you can get, and you can buy them all at livecortex.com. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Rock on. Talk to you next time.